we won't fix the planet if we don't make sustainability desirable. After spending years working on global brands like Nike, Moët, Hennessy, and P&G, and working with startups on 3 continents, our next speaker heads up Web for the UN Environment Program. She's focused on weaving together digital transformation and environmental sustainability. Please welcome Pooja Munshi.
Rebecca.
Are you there? Hey, there you are.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Alistair and Rebecca, for having me on the show. The caliber of speakers at the show has absolutely blown me, and I'm so happy.
First of all, I love that you're calling it a show. This is great. That makes me really happy. But you're part of that caliber of speakers. We're thrilled to have you. Where are you calling in from today?
I am calling in from our headquarters, Nairobi, Kenya, where we're based, UN Environment Program.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to take up any of your time because I know you have some great content to share. So we'll see you at the end.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And thanks everyone for joining this, this part of the session. So I'm going to talk to you about environmental sustainability in a digital world. Again, my name is Pooja Munshi. I am head of web and I'm part of the Digital Transformation Task Force here at UNEP. Now, I'd love to just take a couple of seconds for you to drop in the chat a little bit about which sector are you from? Are you a data scientist? Are you a coder? Are you a part of the government cohort? Would love to know, or a private sector, would love to know more, and just try to tune the presentation accordingly. So please drop a chat and let me know. All right, so here goes. To this group, this is not a surprise, we are very well into the 4th industrial revolution, and it's really a radical shift and an overwhelming sort of change in the way we live, in the way we work, the way we relate to one another. And data and cutting edge technology is really transforming value in products and services all around us. So we are seeing optimizations of supply chains. We are seeing, increasingly companies are going out there and offering services in software and digital formats. And you're probably so familiar with this. Business models are evolving to include services, and companies are offering smart, connected, autonomous products, right? But on the other side, digital revolution is transforming the systems that influence our lives and behaviors. When we think about it, we are spending 4+ hours on our gadgets, on our mobile gadgets per day. And that interaction today is being guided by algorithms. So it's affecting our cognition, so to speak. And we have today 4 billion connected on social media, with 2 million joining every single day. In terms of economy, there are 2 billion digital buyers on e-commerce. And the estimates say in the tech jury that 35 to 40 billion connected devices are being used. And this one caught me a little off guard. 80% of countries are, in fact, using some form of e-governance tools. And all of this is powered by hyperconnectivity, automation, and algorithmic decision-making. But what does all of this mean? What does the digital transformation mean for the environment? On one hand, we know that it's leading to hyperconsumption, it's leading to e-waste generation, energy demand, high metal and mineral inputs, and therefore rebound effects, misinformation, polarization, and exclusion by digital divide. But on the other side, we could look at it as providing, or an opportunity to provide, environmental values that are encoded into these algorithms that we spoke of. It could mean transforming economic incentives and human behaviors at exponential speed and scale. It could mean generation of real-time planetary scale intelligence that's transparent and makes everyone accountable. And finally, an increased agency of people to actually contribute to those environmental solutions. So we are now, my friends, standing at a pivotal moment in human history. This digital revolution could be the single largest opportunity to achieve system-level changes aligned to our SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, or it could be the biggest risk to really entrench business as usual and accelerate the destruction of our planet. So we need to harness the power while mitigating the risks. And this will require not just one organization, it will require unprecedented collaboration across governments, companies, civil society, and more. So what are we doing as UNEP Environment Program? We are facing this challenge head on. We have 3 goals, and we are looking at how digital transformation can help humanity achieve those goals. Number 1, climate stability. Number 2, living in harmony with nature. And number 3, pollution-free planet. And so we are hoping to harness really the power of digital transformation to accelerate, amplify the impact across these 3 focus areas and drive transparency around the knowledge of the state of the planet. So our 5 core missions, and this is really extending through multi-stakeholder coalitions and partnerships from 2022 to 2025, focus on these 5 missions. For regulators, it's about building a digital ecosystem for the planet, adopting regulations, policies, and standards that enable a circular economy and real-time environmental intelligence. For producers, it's about driving supply chain transparency, completely digitizing value chains and helping to track down that carbon performance. Sustainability for platforms out there, use the algorithms, the filters, activations, the nudges to recommend, promote sustainable products and services. Sustainable consumptions. For consumers, demand the transparency and the sourcing information so that you can make informed decisions. And lastly, aligning capital with climate. Really use data analytics and observe third-party performance to drive investing and risk analysis. So we know that the UN has very specific strengths, and we want to play to that. We don't want to go out there and be the next tech platform, because that's not our strength. And I think this is a big step in humility that we've had to take to recognize that we can't go out there and change the world ourselves, right? It's always about convening diverse stakeholders to forge common visions, values, governance, frameworks, platforms, to build capacities across the global and south and north that will help drive digital transformation, exchange of information and lessons, and be the trusted broker of data that identifies environmental opportunities and risks. And lastly, co-innovating, testing, and experimenting with environmental technologies. So I just wanted to give you a few examples of how digital technologies can drive environmental sustainability. In terms of AI, ML, deep learning, NLP, it can really help, climate disaster prediction, planning. It can help with food systems, precision agriculture, nutrition. It can help with restoration, land use, detection of biodiversity loss. In terms of IoT, smart meters can help check water quality in your city and help drive data alerts. It can also improve the consumption of water itself, and it goes on and on. Blockchain, for example, can really help drive digital product passports and so much more. But this is just a flavor of what digital technologies can do for the environment. So I want to share a couple of slides with you. Our digital transformation program officially starts next year, but there have been stepping stones along the way that have inspired us. And I want to share a few with you because these are what are our building blocks. And you'll see how some of the things that I spoke about rise to the surface through these examples. So this is Air IQ. We launched this with Air IQ a year or two ago. This is a real-time interactive air quality platform where you see hotspots at a local, regional, national level. And it's really aimed to drive more air quality improvement. The issue that we're solving is 9 out of 10 people breathe polluted air, and that's causing a lot of deaths. This is the WHO. And the truth is that 104 countries still do not have any monitoring infrastructure in place. And it's not just a finance issue, but it's a lack of access of consolidated open source technology. So here you can see the hotspot, but we've also gone a bit further to create real-time billboards on specific locations. This one is, for example, here in Kenya, where we are trying to seed it from ground level, driving the groundswell, so that folks out there, citizens, can see and get more awareness around the issue itself. The next one we launched recently is the Biodiversity Lab. You'll notice that a number of our platforms are based on collaboration. And this one is with UNEP, UNDP, National Geographic, and it's combining over 400 data layers on biodiversity, and it calculates dynamic spatial indicators and provides life support areas. And it really aims to help policymakers make key decisions on biodiversity, climate change, and sustainable consumption. And here you'll see this map. If you zoom in, and I'll share some of these materials later, so you could overlay, for example, biodiversity intactness index with, the human footprint, so you could see what the correlation was. And this is where the data starts really getting interesting. So this is one of the platforms that we've been really proud of, just taken off. So Countermeasure is another one that is more regional focused. Marine pollution, plastic pollution is a huge issue. And we know that most of that comes from the rivers. That's 95% of plastic waste dumped into the ocean every year. So this project, Countermeasure, works with citizen science, drone imaging, ML, and GIS mapping and algorithms to identify the plastic waste hotspots. And this data then is made available to researchers, policy folks, to really start driving policy level decisions and collaborations. I'll tell you an interesting story. We found out in Agra, for example, the municipality was just not doing a very optimal job with trash collection, which led to a lot of the trash landing up in the Ganges, which then floated through and caused that issue. So this is an example of how platforms and data can help drive the policy level decision making. So this one is a learning platform that we are in fact just launching today at the COP. It is a digital for climate learning program. And what we found is that we cannot really accelerate green transition yet because it's not fully realized. We have a lack of understanding and there are not enough skill sets right in there. So this platform aims to teach users to explore the digital transformation potential while also looking very closely at the environmental impacts of ICT, right? And this one was launched with the German government and the EU as well. Playing for the Planet, video games, reaches 2.7 billion people in the world, right? And that is huge. So we're working with them, Playing for the Planet Alliance, all the big studios of the world. And we do green game jams. And our goal is, number one, to decarbonize that industry, but also start seeding green nudges into their games where the designers start incorporating these green nudges. Facebook, we have been working with them about almost a year now on the climate science information. We all know about misinformation, polarization. So we teamed up together with IPCC, WMO, Yale School to direct users to the science, right? So that is an example. And the last one is the Digital Finance Alliance. So we know that 70% of carbon emissions are actually household level, and 65% of consumers want to make green decisions, but only 26% do. So there's a little bit of a rift there. And this coalition made up of UNEP, MasterCard, Ant Group, Telenor, MIT, Lazada, and more are really coming together to start creatively leveraging tech and partnerships to enhance the green awareness and ultimately action about 1 billion green consumers by 2025. So what are our immediate priorities for the next year? We are really focused on building out that digital ecosystem that we spoke about. SDGs, it's incredible that 58% still have no data because of the global data gap. And it's not because countries are unable to report. Some of them are unable to report, but other times it's the lack of skills, lack of technology. So this is a huge opportunity for folks out there listening. World Environment Situation Room, again, brokerage of data and pulling together towards a consolidated, endorsed, creditable platform. We're working on shifting markets and consumer behaviors together with many partners. So the Codes platform is a coalition of stakeholders who are really coming together to move the needle on this. We'll share more information with you on that. And lastly, it's about building digital literacy and engagement, leaving no one behind, introducing programs, technical reports that have a balance of sharing information between the global south and north. So to start wrapping this up, how can you contribute? Make your data fair. Publish it under the Digital Public Goods License. Engage in one of our 5 missions through Codes, which is, again, that multi-stakeholder community that I spoke of. And participate in trainings, learnings, share your knowledge with others. We need to spread the word. It will take an epic amount of collaboration. Time is running out. We've got 10 years to meet this goal. It will really take a vast amount of collaboration across multiple stakeholders to achieve these goals. Our future is really what we make out of it. And I think this statement is familiar to everyone listening, perhaps in this group, which is digital transformation is an unknown destination. So we are opening up. Tell us what's missing. Tell us if you have feedback, share it with us, because I think this is a collective journey for humanity, and we're hoping to hear back from you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rebecca.
Well, Rebecca's much less interesting, Brother Alistair, I think. Hey, Pooja, thank you so much. That was amazing. Certainly the work that's happening right now could not be more timely. And I love the fact that you're able to connect with other faculty like Janet on the platform. It really seems like the best way forward is to break down these barriers so everyone knows what else is happening, and so we can put sort of more wood behind fewer arrows of these programs. And that's certainly the role of the United Nations. So thank you so much for being here all the way from Kenya. What time is it there?
It's 5 o'clock.
All right. So we didn't get you up too early or make you stay up too late.
Oh, good.
And thank you so much for all the work you do. If folks want to connect with you on the platform, they can send you messages there. Pooja, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Alistair.